Now, recently, I had started, and we have talked about this before, I have started an Arizona/Utah Coyotes franchise mode from when the news pretty much first came out that the Coyotes were going to be heading to Utah. In the aftermath of that, I took a road trip. I got bronchitis that I'm still kind of recovering from, but feeling a bit better for. But I feel like that moment has passed in terms of like, the Salt Lake City Coyotes, that type of thing. We only got one season in. Hate to end something early, but I do have a good reason to end it early, and that is because there is an actual fun thing to do to kind of get me back into playing some NHL 24 franchise, which I have barely done this year. That first kind of aspect to like, hey, fun idea, is that Vasi put out the next version of their custom rosters. Update 9 came out about a week ago at this point and is absolutely fantastic for all the reasons that I've talked about with Vasi's rosters in the past. So, number one, obviously I'd rather use Vasi's custom rosters than EA's provided rosters because EA's rosters mostly suck. And then there's the idea, not the most original creative idea in the world, but I feel like I can have fun with it. And so that's what I kind of want to do, is I want to take control of an expansion Coyotes team. Now, in actuality, do I believe that we'll see the Arizona Coyotes return to the NHL within the next 5 years? No, I don't. I think that ownership group is incredibly incompetent. I don't see any way how they get their shit together. I don't think we'll see the Coyotes back for at least 10 years, is my presumption. I hate to say it. Got a lot of friends who are Coyotes fans. I don't think it's going to happen. But in this reality, it's going to happen very, very quickly. Very quickly. And the good news is, of course, Vasi has a hell of a lot of custom rosters provided, or custom teams, I should say, within this custom roster. But I have already gone and put together the Arizona Coyotes. We're going with the Kachina look because, I mean, come on. It's the Kachina look. It absolutely has to be there. But we are going to still be moving the Arizona Coyotes to Utah. And the good news is I came up with a concept I was happy with for the Utah Yetis. So shout out to the Utah Yetis, which will exist in this reality. Of course, they're going to have to stay with the Tucson Roadrunners in real life. You know, the Coyotes will have the Roadrunners again. But yeah, so the Utah Yetis are going to exist, and we are going to be controlling the new version of the Arizona Coyotes through an expansion draft. I have no idea. We need our farm team in Utah. We can do that. We can absolutely troll and have our AHL team be based in Utah. Let's do that, actually. You think Toronto makes an offer to Steven Stamkos? I mean, if he's going to take a little money to go to a contender, I mean, Tampa's probably not. Is Tampa that far behind Toronto? I mean, Christ, they might lose in the first round in the same amount of games. They might. So, give me 1 second here. And there we go. All right. Salt Lake Soakers. But what the hell is the logo going to be for the Soakers? You know? What logo screams Soakers? That's the real question. You know, the wave. That's fair. That's fair. There is that wave logo. Fair enough. Fair enough. Where is... It's actually a pretty nice logo within this game, too. I don't want to miss it. I feel like I've already missed it. Where the hell? I guarantee I already went right past it, didn't I? Oh, goodness. Frank is saying fourth column near the bottom. Okay, yeah, so I did miss it. That's good. That's good. If I were a wave... Aha, there it is. All right. Well, there we go. Nordique's logo to piss off Quebec City fans. Oh, Plur, what's going on, by the way? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Soakers with the whale logo. We can come up with an alternate logo. I am not going to spend too much time on said logo, all right? Like, we've made that mistake in the past of spending way too much goddamn time with custom logos. Let's not do it for all that long for this particular AHL team, you know? Let's see. Let's see. All right. What are the vibes regarding the Bruins? I'm a little bit more optimistic than I was before, but still a little bit concerned because it's the Bruins, and as much as like, well, it's against the Leafs, as I've talked about in the past, the Bruins have a tremendous history of choking. Like a tremendous history of choking. And that always scares me. Ripley, hello, by the way. I don't know how I feel about this particular logo, but you know what? It'll do. It'll do. All right. Like I said, I am not too worried about this being the most complicated logo or anything like that. It's our AHL team. No major concerns. So, God, a secondary logo. Yeah, honestly. I was tempted with the Kachina look, but I'm really not too worried about these particular uniforms at all. And I know myself, I don't want to sit here and get caught up in the throes of putting a team together because we'll spend way, way too much time on it. Way too much time. The whale. Why the whale over the octopus or the shack? You know? What's the obsession with the whale? Why not a lighthouse? There's a ton of those in Utah. So many. K-Town, what's up? All right, you know what? Yeah, screw your alternate logos. I don't even care. I don't even care. All right, so we got that set up. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up. Whales shoot water out of their heads. That's wrong. They shoot water out of their cloacas. K-Town, I'm rooting for you. Who put a tic-tac-toe board as a logo? Look, there's only so many logos you can possibly have. All right. Let's see. What can the nickname even be? Okay, hold on. There you go. There you go. They're going to be the Super Soakers. It's been decided. It's been decided. Call it a hunch. I don't think Soakers is in as a play-by-play name in this game. At least last that I knew, it wasn't. Shockingly, it's not. Am I excited for Drake May as a Patriots fan? Yes, because it wasn't going to work out with Mac Jones. For one reason or another. The arena name, we'll just have them in the Delta Center. We're going to have our AHL team play where their NHL team plays. That'll show you. That'll show you, Utah. You dicks. Ridiculous. All right. It takes a little bit of time to set up jerseys, but also I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I don't really care how these end up looking because it's our AHL team. So it is what it is. Let's go with the Ducks look, I guess. Pants style, whatever. Sock style. Who cares about socks? Should have been the Utah Jazz, too. The Utah Jazzier. Suppose it's not too late for that name, huh? The Utah Jazzier. All right. So Go over to uniform style. We'll just do apply team colors. Wow, that's hideous. God, the wave is just so fucking huge. Ridiculous. Let's just steal the Ducks vibe here. If we can. If we can. Like I said, I'm not worried at all at how the fuck this jersey looks. I can't be asked to take too much time for an AHL jersey. But it's going to be a great look for the Super Soakers regardless. Look at it. It's so blue. Let's see. Helmet logo option. I mean, don't get me wrong. There would be potential with the color scheme for sure. Like I said, I'm just not going to put too much time into this because, again, AHL team. The comeback for the Canucks. Great comeback for the Canucks in Game 4. Horrific collapse by Nashville, though. Let's be honest. That was bad. That was pretty bad. Let's see. You know, the jerseys just somehow don't work as well. Imagine if you can put them in Mormon dress shirts. Well. All right, let's see. Whoa, indeed. Indeed, I don't want to live in a world without a version of the Arizona Coyotes, damn it. I don't want to live in that world. Even though we're all currently living in that world. I still don't know how I feel about the Creation Suite redesign this year, but I also have bigger issues with this game beyond the Creation Suite, so the AHL team is too lame. In a way, yeah. Expansion series replacing relocation. Yeah, Jay, as I explained a few minutes ago, it's just I feel like the momentum for that other one was just lost completely because of the whole bronchitis deal. So, plus this way we get to use Vasi's most recent rosters, which is a tremendous roster set. So, like I said, it's the one thing that gives me any interest in this game in the aftermath of EA killing my interest in this game is the fact that, yeah, Vasi does a hell of a job. Obviously, still, I stand by what I do and everything like that, but I'm not finishing my roster set this year because I have better shit to do. So, we've been over this. We've been over this. All right, let's see. The hell is this going to end up looking like? Not great, to be honest. By the end of this, not a great look. But again, I also don't care. Sure. Pants style. Sock style. There you go. We have an alternate jersey. Not the prettiest uni set we'll ever see. Probably not the worst either. Certainly not the best. It'll do. It's the AHL team. I couldn't care less. Although, when it comes to the arena, you have to go with the wood. Right? I mean, you get a chance. For your arena to feature this much wood, you have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. Go with those blue goalposts, even though that wouldn't be allowed in the AHL, but damn it, we're turning it into the ECHL now. Damn it. Sid, hello. That was my favorite Trash Panda Ben. I hope you have been well. Also, this is definitely not the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, even though we called it the Delta Center. But don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Because I'm not worried about it. So don't be worried about it. Honestly, that'll do. That'll do. We'll save it. Like I said, not too worried. It's an AHL team. We'll be fine. The Arizona Coyotes are back with the Salt Lake City Super Soakers as their AHL team. And again, the other Coyotes, now the Utah Yetis, as we will be putting ourselves in the Central. I mean, it makes sense, right? I'll text, what's up? I'd say it makes sense to put us right back in the Central Division. Any disagreements? And plus, that way we're directly in a division with the Yetis. So, that works for me. We're not going to move anything else around. Owner mode can be off because owner mode still just sucks and isn't worth having on. Player morale is also just so fucking annoying. And, we'll leave Seattle as exempt. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I'll text. I'm jealous you got to go to that. That was a hell of a show. You see Ryan Smith buying the rights to Utah Grizzlies? No, I think he'll... From the sounds of it, they have almost 10 team names kind of parked right now. They're going to go with their own name. So... let's see. Auto scouting's fine. Waivers, trade difficulty. Put it on hard, even though it doesn't matter too much. Computer trades will be fine. So we live in a fictional world anyway. Gonna turn off injuries because, I mean, maybe we'll turn them back on for the playoffs. I'm not too worried about it. Play Vegas style and turn the salary cap off. I could. I won't. But I could. Waiver notifications, that's fine. Trade-off notifications, I'm going to turn those off because it always annoys the crap out of me. We'll turn down the draft class quality for the first couple years because, of course, Vasi's added in a lot of real-life dudes. So we should be pretty much good to go with this year one expansion draft. I think this is the least amount of NHL I've played in years. Same. I have not had an NHL... Well, it's not true. We technically did a run with the Blues that I forgot about that's going up on the channel at some point. So, Taps, of course I do. Of course. All right. So I am down to actually make this the best version of a team that we can. Because, again, I've played so little of this mode, I really haven't even seen that much in terms of, like, player development or anything like that. So I just kind of want to see what we can do. Who's Anaheim exposing in this draft? Oh, boy. Well, I mean, goalies still don't matter in this game, but we'd be... I can't believe they protect... Well, I guess no movement clause on Gibson. They'd have to protect Gibson over Dostal. But that's... I mean, Braden Tracy's a no-brainer, but so is Lucas Dostal. Boston. You know, they probably should have protected Swayman over Allmark. I'm thinking the AI logic needs to be addressed just a little bit when it comes to this expansion draft. Well, that's goaltending taken care of. Buffalo. Got to protect JVR. I was so expecting, like, Devin Levi to be there. I really was. Oh, God. I'll text. It's overdue. Let's be honest. I'm not taking that boat anchor of a contract from Connor Clifton. He has a much higher rating in this game than he actually should have. Most of these contracts suck. People wonder why Buffalo still didn't make the playoffs, huh? Most of those contracts do suck. We're going to come back to Buffalo. We'll come back because there's not exactly an important decision to be made there. Calgary. Well, I guess we're getting the goaltending set up pretty early. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to draft like 10 goalies, apparently. Carolina. Who's Carolina leaving available? No goaltending, thankfully. Brent Burns? I mean, that's certainly not a bad deal. Burns, Tavo, Orloff. I mean, Tavo's a pretty good shout. Kuznetsov, not so much. Terrio! Congrats, Terry. I know you were close to your goal. Thank you for the 33, by the way, my friend. And again, congrats. Bobby Orloff. That didn't last too long, did it? I think it's got to be Tavo just for his age and his usefulness. It's got to be Tavo. Just because Burns is going to retire at the end of like 2 seasons tops. Right. Chicago. I mean, Taylor Hall would make some sense. So would Alex Vlasic. I can't believe they didn't protect Vlasic, but... Oh, fair enough. I was expecting Bedard. I mean, based on what other teams were looking like, that's fair. It's got to be Vlasic. It's got to be. I mean, he's only 22. Dude, the AI just leaves so many fucking players available. It's crazy. Colorado. Eustace. I mean, obviously, we don't necessarily need Eustace. And yes, Bedard would be exempt, but, I mean, with this game, you never know. Eustace wouldn't be too bad, but obviously we don't really need another option. Josh Manson's contract sucks. Sean Walker's does not. So, Sean Walker, welcome in. Welcome. Columbus. How does Jake Bean... Vasi, how does Jake Bean have an 82? How? Defend your position, sir. I mean, clearly Eric Goodbranson's the answer here. Clearly. It is between Boqvist or Bean. I mean, Boqvist could be anything. He could even be Jake Bean. Is Boqvist a bust? I mean, he's an NHLer. He's just not crazy good. We're going to come back to Columbus, too. Dabless. Chris Tanev. Jesus Christ. Thomas Harley Thomas is there. Well, that makes it a pretty easy decision to go with Thomas Harley. Just noticed we're close to having 69,420 million left in cap space. I don't think I can make the math work out, but you're right. Ooh, Maverick Bork. It's got to be Thomas, though. It's got to be. Detroit. Just got to keep checking goaltenders because this has been ridiculous so far. Shane Gostisbehere. David Perron, Ben Sherratt. I'm not taking Ben Sherratt away from the Red Wings. They can enjoy that contract. And it's got to be Ghost Bear. I mean, or like Joe Veleno if I needed a forward, but for that reason, I'll leave Detroit up for grabs for a minute. Edmonton. Who's Edmonton got? Let's see. I mean, Warren Fogle. Oh, Corey Perry's out there. I mean, it makes sense to take Fogle. Yeah. Jack Campbell's contract. I imagine it had to be edited to make sure that the Oilers were cap compliant. So, like I said again, Vasi's custom roster, you'll see some creative, liberties taken that any custom roster editor has to make. Florida. I am very surprised he left Spencer Knight at an 80, though. I'll say that. Very surprised. Knight is about the same as certain Anaheim goaltender that we're already taking. Lost Arena's not too bad. Lost Arena's not bad. Was there anybody better than him? No. So yeah, it still makes sense to take Dostal. And we'll take Lost Arena. That's fine. Again, we already have 3 goaltenders taken, so between Wolf, Swayman, and Dostal. OEL to Arizona. That would be pretty funny. Los Angeles. Who do the Kings have here? Arvidsson, Matt Roy. No save, Dave. Man, that salary really got adjusted for Arvidsson then, huh? It's Arvidsson or Matt Roy. We can come back. You could argue Kaliev, though, at 21's not too bad either. But, yeah, we'll come back. Whatever team has a couple of different options, I'll always come back to and then figure it out from there. Minnesota. I mean, we have Swayman, so we don't need to take Gustafsson. That'd be a bit of a waste. Jacob Middleton, Marcus Foligno. It's pretty much got to be Middleton. Foligno makes way too much money. Useful player, but way too much money. Ryan O'Rourke's not good enough yet. Let's go for Jacob Middleton. They're going to be a hell of a team out of the gates, huh? Montreal. A lot of contracts I do not plan on taking. Even Primo's out there. I mean, David Savard's contract isn't too bad. No way we're taking Anderson or Dvorak. John Kovacevic is on a really nice deal. Harvey Pinard isn't going to get that much better. Michael Pezzetta, Ulunen. Former UMaine Black Bear, Brady Keeper. So, there's some options. Jack Eye wasn't available. We'll go back to them. Nashville. Nashville. What do we got here? Tiebreaker. I am. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see. Back for now until I suffer from some other goddamn illness. Shout out to former UMaine Black Bear, Gustav Nyquist. Fabro's not too bad. Makes a little bit more than I'd prefer. But he's not bad. A lot of veterans outside of that. It's probably going to be Fabro. We'll come back to Nashville. New Jersey. Oh my God, there's like nobody. There's like nobody. Nathan Bastian. Gee, I mean, Kevin Ball. At least he's huge. Ball, Graham Clark. It's going to be one of those two. Christ, the Devils left us with nothing to take in this draft. Islanders. A lot of contracts I have no desire to take. Pellick deals too much. Lee, Palmieri, Mayfield, and 8 years each. Oh my. Oh, the bronchitis. Holy shit. 8 years left for those two. That is something. Who the hell do we even take from this team? I mean, I guess Sam Bolduc, because he might have some trade value. Jesus Christ. It's like there's no way I'm taking any of those big deals. I mean, we could take like Swedish Sebastian Aho or Robert Bortuzzo, or we take Bolduc. Yikes. Rowan at the moment it is. We'll see what it evolves into. I don't even know. What about on the Rangers? Well, we got some options from the Rangers now, don't we? Sens? No crazy goalie or anything like that. Matthew Joseph, Artyom Zub. Bernard Docker is probably the guy. Shout out to B4 for the bits, by the way. The B in B4 stands for bits. It's got to be Bernard Docker. I mean, he's not that far behind Zub and isn't getting paid what Zub is. Yeah, it's got to be Bernard Docker from Ottawa. Yarventi's not bad either, but Jacob Bernard Docker, welcome in. It's already our 5th of 9 defensemen, so what are we going to feel? Do you think the Panthers lost game 4 on purpose? No, but it worked out pretty well for them, is what I would say. Scott, better than Nikita Kucherov-Lawton. Nick Sealer. Oh, boy. Jamie Drysdale is available, though. Obviously, not the craziest player of the bunch, but I mean, again, Lawton's not that bad as like a well-rounded option. Risto for the memes. Risto for the cap space. It's either Drysdale or Lawton. I actually don't know yet. Pittsburgh. Yikes. I mean, Pedersen is kind of a defensive version of Lawton. I mean, P.O. Joseph's not going to turn into anything at this point. Boy, Pittsburgh really isn't that great. I think Stamkos will stay in Tampa. I don't know. I just can't imagine him in a different uniform, you know? San Jose. Oh, God, having to take a player away from San Jose. Imagine doing them the favor. I mean, Matt Benning, that's a pretty decent little contract. I mean, it's Matt Benning, it's Philip Zadina. It's one of those two. Could get Klim Kostin out of Edmonton, where he's watching Oilers playoff games, wishing he was still there. Oof. I need to prioritize other defensemen. So Philip Zadina, welcome in. Stamkos to Boston. I wouldn't complain. Lethal, what's up? The OG return was shorter than this stream's already been, so you're fine. You didn't miss much. Joel Hofer. Oh, fuck. The Blues would need to have somebody left available that's better than kind of mid player on the Ducks. Oh, and I was going to say, and speaking of mid, but I can't even be mean because he's currently running a New England Patriots franchise mode with the greatest quarterback of all time, Drake May. Mills, thank you very much for the raid, my friend. I hope you've been well. It's my first real stream back recovering from frackin' bronchitis. So we'll see how long it goes, but May has asked, Scott, how dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? But Mills, again, thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. And it's good to be back, but man, I don't know. Did I make the right choice playing NHL 24 over going to Madden myself? I'm not sure. I was tempted to do the same thing, and then I saw you on the Patriots, and I'm just like, eh. He took my idea. Wait, who are the Coyotes? Well, you see, Mills, in this reality, we have moved the Coyotes to Utah. The Yetis are real. And we are going to be controlling the expansion Coyotes, which in real life is never going to happen because that ownership group sucks. It's never going to happen. But, yeah, we had to make a gorilla into a Yeti. And I wanted to use the purple color scheme because we did a very 1990s Utah Jazz-inspired look for the team, which I can show that off once we're done with this expansion. But, yeah. Yeah, anyway, I'm focused. What are you talking about? I'm so focused. Is there anybody to take? Zonkvist, Verana, Toropchenko. Yeah. St. Louis. We got to make a decision on goalies there. High starter for Joel Hofer, which isn't bad. Do we take high starter over low elite? We could go with, like, Isaac Lundstrom. It's pretty much who do we like better. I'm honestly thinking we go for Hofer instead. And just take, like, Isaac Lundstrom from Anaheim. I'm thinking that's the way that we're going. I think Hofer will have a little bit better value should we choose to move him, is my plan. And I mean, Toropchenko and Lundstrom we're pretty close to being the same player. So we'll go for Hofer. And curse the Blues to use Jordan Binnington, indeed. Tampa. Definitely not taking that Eric Chernak contract. No shot. No shot. They don't have a goalie that we want. I mean, Tanner Jeannot is a good face puncher, but not for that price tag. Darren Radish isn't bad at all. But we have a lot of other defensemen we were considering taking. Connor Sherry, Mott, Asamont. Gabe Fortier is out there. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to Tampa. Toronto. Bunch of losers. Who the hell do we even take from Toronto? Joel Edmondson? Based on that contract? Oh, Gregor, Connor Dewar. We could take Connor Dewar. That's not bad. We need more forwards than we do defensemen at this stage. Clearly, Ryan Reeves. Ah, yes. The face puncher general himself. It actually needs to be Ryan Reeves or Connor Dewar. Do I take Ryan Reeves for the memes? Do I? Mobsky, what's up, man? If I have to take a forward here, which I do I take Ryan Reeves for the memes or do I just condemn him to Toronto? If it's not Reeves, it's Connor Dewar. If you take Reeves, Toronto will burn. Yes, and give him. You know, I'll throw up a poll. I'll let you guys decide. Who do we take from Toronto? I don't really care either way. It doesn't make too much of a difference. Do we take Ryan Reeves? Do we take Connor Dewar? Polls up. If it hasn't popped up for you in chat, just refresh the stream really quickly. It should be there. From Utah. Our old pals, the Utah Yetis. I mean, Travis Dermott's the man, right? Travis Dermott's the man, but I don't know if we're taking him. Jan Yannick. Michael Kesselring. I think I found a mistake in Vassey's rosters. So nice, he plays twice. Michael Kesselring. Yeah, you can have one. He's going to play for both teams at the same time. How the hell are there two Michael Kesselrings? That doesn't make sense. It does. But then again, he has a picture both times. How is that possible? There's two Kolachinoks as well. Something must have happened in terms of like importing the EA duplicated them for some reason with the custom team. I don't know if that ruins it for me though. To be honest, it's just pretty fucking funny, regardless. So 2 Clayton Kellers. Oh no, because there's only 2 duplicated players so far. 1 for each of you. How fun, right? They said no. I will not leave the Coyotes. I mean, Jenik is the guy unless we go. Also, Liam O'Brien's making $15 million as a cap whale, so that's fun. I need to take different defensemen over Kalachnikov, so come on down, Jenik. Let's see who's Jack going to vote for from Toronto. They voted for Ryan Reeves. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to take away the heart and soul of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going for Ryan Reeves, which is not a smart decision at all over Connor Dewar. But, you still got a meme from time to time. Shiloffs is there, but obviously we don't have room for another goalie. Oh, God. Teddy Bluger isn't that bad. Clearly Tyler Myers' final decision, right? Could go for Dakota Joshua. People love themselves some Dakota Joshua. And they really don't have any type of prospect that I'd want either. Let's see. Bluger didn't have any abilities. Joshua does. Let's take Dakota Joshua. Let's do it. Vegas. Do you have a goalie that can tempt me to change my plans? Not really. Logan Thompson is great, though. Jonathan Marchessault, Noah Hannafin before the extension kicks in. And 7.35 for 8 years for Hannafin is, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Obviously, Jonathan Marchessault's, again, there's some edited contracts to try and make the team cap compliant. Do love my boy Nick Hague. I love Nick Hague, but I don't know if he's the guy right now. Caden Korczak. I might have to come back to Vegas, too. Washington. Do you have an obvious player to take? I mean, Protas is going to be making way too much. Obey Kubel. Mallinston. Ugh. Take Dylan McElrath as a face puncher. I mean, like, Obey Kubel honestly might be the guy just to keep the cap hit low. I think he is. Just take Nicholas Obey Kubel. Nobody too crazy from Washington. And Winnipeg. I mean, Gabe Vilardi is... You can't not take Gabe Vilardi in that instance. That is pretty straightforward. We'll take Gabe Vilardi. So we have room for 4 more defensemen, and it's forwards from there. So Buffalo, it's going to be a forward because none of the defenders were good enough to really tempt me. And in terms of a forward, I mean, I'm not spending that much money on Tyson Jost. I really don't care who this ends up being. Even Eric Robinson makes too much money. So Arttu Ruotsalainen, congratulations, you're the pick from Buffalo. Columbus, we were considering defensemen, and it's either Jake Bean or Adam Boqvist. I mean, Boqvist could be anything. He could even be Jake Bean, or we just take like Matthew Olivier. Ooh, Ryan Reeves and Matthew Olivier on the same team punching faces. Yeah, two face punchers on an expansion team. That's not a bad way to go. I don't really think Boqvist is going to develop at all. Let's skip Columbus again really quickly. Detroit. It was down to Joe Veleno or Shane Gostisbehere. Ah, man. All right. Let's just go with the smart choice. We have plenty of time to meme. We'll take Adam Boqvist. From Detroit, we are going to take Shane Gostisbehere. From LA, this one's a little bit more tough. Arvidsson's really not on that bad of a deal. Matt Roy is not on that bad of a deal. Kaliev's not on that bad of a deal. LA is a tough one, man. Montreal, it came down to Kovacevic or Pinard. And, or Michael Pezzetta, for that matter. We can go for Pezzetta because we didn't go for Olivier. So we'll play Pezzetta with Ryan Reeves. Nashville, again, like pretty much has to be Dante Fabro. Pretty much has to be. There really wasn't anybody else who was all that interesting. I don't know if Fabro's interesting. Yeah, we'll take Dante Fabro. That's fine. New Jersey. It was down to Kevin Ball or Graham Clark because we don't have that much space for other defensemen. It's going to be Graham Clark. Islanders. Again, it really didn't matter at all. We won't take Sam Bolduc, though. We'll take a forward. And who cares is pretty much the response there. We'll go for Julien Gauthier because at least he should be fast. I don't know if Fassi made him fast, but he should be fast. For the Rangers, Jesus. I mean, it's got to be Lafreniere. Right. I mean, it's Lafreniere or Keandre Miller. It's going to be Lafreniere. Philly. Again, we still only have room for one more defenseman. So that kind of rules out Drysdale. It means we should take Lawton instead. This is actually turning into a draft of a few more tough decisions than I was expecting. Mainly because there was a lot more talent available than we were expecting. Damn. We gotta hit the cap floor. Cap floor is a myth. The cap floor is a myth. I mean, March or so makes a lot of sense, especially we could get him at a discounted rate. That's a good player to have. Like I said, I like me some Nick Hague, but Aiden Korshak's not bad either, but we'll take Jonathan Marchessault from Vegas. Joshua was fine. Shanique was fine. Reeves is fine, even though Connor Dewar's the better pick. Tampa. Again, defensemen are the best options, but we need a forward. We're going to go for Tyler Mott. I mean, it's him or Michael Asamont. Asamont's a couple years younger. We'll go for Asamont. The defensive core is going to be good. The forwards, we'll see. So Pittsburgh, it's Marcus Pettersson, and we just take a random forward, and we'll just take a random forward. Whoops. And we will go for Emil Bemstrom. Why not? Emil Bemstrom. Welcome in. Philly. Philly's the tough one. It's Drysdale or Lawton. And then Los Angeles is either Arvidsson, Kaliev, or Matt Roy. I think it's pretty straightforward. We're going to go for Kaliev. You would have too few goalies or defenders. That's not true. That's literally not true. It's going to make me take the defenseman first, I guess. So from Philly, we'll take Jamie Drysdale, because why would we not? And then from the Kings, I don't know why it insisted I do it that way, we'll take Kaliev. That's literally not true. EA. 9 defensemen, 3 goaltenders, What do you mean I can't take another forward? Every time I'm like, I'm gonna play this video game, it somehow is like, no, you're not. You no longer want to play this video game. You don't. Leave now. Go away. We don't want you here. Son of a bitch.